Hey, how's it going everyone? And welcome back to VR Gamer Dude. I'm Don. So today I am back to finally give you guys my thoughts on the Katwalk C2 Core. And I wanted to start out this video with some thanks and also an apology. So first off, I want to thank Kat for sending me the treadmill to review for you guys. And secondly, I wanted to apologize to them as well as all of you for this review being about a month later than I had anticipated it coming out. Life got the better of me for a little while with my new job at Upload, summer ending, and just lots of travel that I hadn't anticipated. But nice thing is that gave me some extra time to get to know the Katwalk. So this is my thoughts after 60 plus days of using it. Alright, so let's get straight into it. First off, let's talk about what's absolutely mind-blowing while using the Katwalk, and that's the huge bump in immersion that I felt playing some of the games that I tested it with. Actually, being able to walk freely without boundaries in games like Skyrim or Half-Life Alyx or Fallout 4 caused something magical to happen in my brain. After taking more than just a few steps in a virtual world, it just started to be believable, like I was actually there, enabling a whole new level of depth and presence. Just imagine walking through the beautiful landscapes of Tamriel. The sense of presence that I felt was just extraordinary. This treadmill really made me feel like I was more present in that world, making every battle feel more intense and every exploration more rewarding.
Vault door cycling sequence initiated. Please stand back.
Then there's Fallout 4. The wasteland felt so much more real. I mean, walking or sprinting through the Commonwealth, scavenging through ruins, and engaging in firefights really hit different when you're physically moving on something and running for your life. But it's not all sunshine and roses with the Katwalk. So now let's talk about a few of the drawbacks I've experienced. First up, walking is a bit tricky to get used to, and even after a couple of months, I still find myself struggling some days to get that sliding rhythm just right. No matter how much I tweak the settings in the Cat Gateway software or adjust my gait, it never really seems to achieve that one-to-one walking feeling that I was hoping for going into this. Now, I have gotten used to it over the last couple of months, but there's always a bit of disconnect, and walking never actually feels easy in any game that I've tried. One thing that did help me get some extended use out of the Katwalk and made walking easier was to mod the shoes by slapping a ton of loop Velcro onto the bottom. This made it much more slippery, kind of like walking on ice, but even with this mod in place, long sessions can still get a bit exhausting, which brings up the point and the potential that this device could be very well used for VR fitness. But that's a whole other video that I might do down the road. And then there's the concave bowl-shaped surface that you walk on. It's kind of smaller than it looks in images or videos, making anything other than standing, walking, or running, for me, pretty uncomfortable. There was this one time that I crouched down and I actually couldn't get back up, and this was a pretty humbling experience for a 53-year-old out-of-shape VR enthusiast with a 3-level spinal fusion. Crouching in real life, doable. On this treadmill, for me, not so much. Now, I think the biggest restriction here holding me back is this harnessing system having to be so rigid and tight against my back and my body, which really does decrease a lot of the freedom of movement you need for extremely active VR titles. It would be great to see Kat move to a more chest-based harness with an armature like their competitors have with their new Omni 1 treadmill, as this interface looks to be way better and much more suited to intense VR gaming sessions. Another thing I was really hoping that the Katwalk would solve for is motion sickness, since it allows for real-world walking while in a virtual space. A lot of folks that get motion sickness do it because they get a disconnect from their vestibular system telling them that they aren't walking, yet their eyes are saying that they are while playing a VR game with artificial locomotion methods. For those of you who have been watching my channel for a long time, you'll know my wife Stacy suffers severely from motion sickness. So when she tries to do VR without teleport or snap turning, it is not good. And we thought this might help her since, well, walking is somewhat natural on this thing. Unfortunately, to our surprise, it seemed to do the opposite. Even with everything set up 100% correctly, Stacy still struggled to walk and maintain a forward motion in games that she tried. Her brief sessions mostly echoed my sentiments. The immersion is high, but the physical mechanics can be a letdown, and it definitely did not solve for her motion sickness. Another thing is it just takes a while to get all of this set up, and quite frankly, sometimes by the time I get up on the bowl and get fully suited up and get the software calibrated and get ready to walk in a game, I'm already exhausted and ready to take it all off. So where does that leave us? Well, I have to say that the Katwalk C2 Core is an incredible concept. When it works, the immersion is magical. However, the unnatural slide walking, physical exhaustion, and the cost are major factors that you just can't overlook when thinking about adding a device like this to your current VR setup. Let's face it, this thing takes up a lot of space and it is not easy to move around. Plus, the price tag makes it tough to recommend to anyone who isn't a complete hardcore VR enthusiast like me with a bit of disposable income, or at least has the dedicated room for it. But for us early adopter gunters out there, it's a step forward. The Katwalk C2 Core isn't perfect by any means, but it definitely offers a glimpse into the future of endless walking in VR with no boundaries, making virtual worlds feel just a bit more real. So, to wrap this up, if you've got the space, the budget, and the patience for tinkering with a bunch of settings and doing some modifications of your own, the Katwalk C2 Core can definitely take your VR adventures to new heights. For everyone else, it's a cool glimpse into what's coming next in the VR world, but nothing to have FOMO over. So, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you made it this far, and if you liked what you saw, you know what to do. Smash that like, and then hit subscribe, and then ring the bell so you get notified the next time I do something cool in VR. But for me, I'm out. I'll see you in the next one. This is Don, signing off.